Welcome. I'm Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris, and I'm early today because I have somewhere I need to be at noon. For those of you who got the message and will join me live, thank you. It's always nice to have company. For those of you watching a replay, well, here I am with a message for you, and as always, with you in spirit. Welcome to our weekly spiritual spa, your Sunday spiritual indulgence. We're here to help you feel better if you're feeling fine, to help you feel even better if you're feeling bad. You know, Ernest Holmes, the author of The Science of Mind and founder of religious science, used to open his television show with the words, "There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it." True. And the greater truth is that you can't not use it. In fact, you're using it all the time. You're using it right now because it is done unto you as you believe. The important part of Dr. Holmes' admonition was to remember to use it for good. So I'd like you to listen to the words I'm about to say and consider them in light of your life. It's basically a few sentence explanation of what it is we believe and why we're here. We are here to remember who we are. We are children of creation itself. We are here to remember that we are created in the image and likeness of God. Creation, the universe, the Almighty, whatever you choose to call the creative, motivating force of the universe. And honestly, I don't think it cares what you call it. We are here to heal our misconceptions and to release whatever beliefs may no longer be serving us. We are here to learn how to use our divine inheritance to make our lives and our world a better place. We are here to be awake, to inspire, to uplift, to heal, and to make whole ourselves and our world. Okay, here we go. I love to get you thinking right from the get-go because the last thing I want you to do is leave your brain at the door. Bring it along. It's part of you. So here's this morning's question. Why? That's the question. Why what, you might ask? And that would be a reasonable response. But I'm going to leave the what for you to think about for a few minutes and jump right into what I'm going to talk about today. And then we'll chat for a few minutes about how that might just help you consider your whys or your why nots. Stay with me. At one point, not too terribly long ago, Nike's commercials were centered around a question both asked and answered in very few words. Why ask why, they asked, and then followed it with, just do it. We remember the just do it part because it never really went away. But I wonder what happened to the why. It is, after all, a legitimate question anyway, isn't it? You know, there was a Charlie Brown cartoon, ages ago, that was just 2 panels. In the first panel, Charlie is laying on his back in bed, staring at the ceiling with Snoopy by his side, and saying to himself, sometimes I lie in bed at night and ask myself, why? Why? We've all done that. Then in the second panel, he turns and says, then a voice comes to me that says, why what? Which suggests that the questioner isn't as clear as they might be about the question. So why Or why not? Ask why. It seems to me that our whys almost always tie us to the past. To a long ago past, or to a just happened past, or to a feared event in the future. And even that may or may not actually ever happen. Nonetheless, those questions, those whys, seem to keep us shackled to something that we can do very little about. It either was or it wasn't, or will be or won't be. Well, why really happens? Help us. So, why ask why? Well, maybe you're asking because you don't understand. Maybe because you want to understand. Maybe because you feel like with understanding, something or somebody will change. Or maybe you're just curious. That why, I think, is reasonable. But as metaphysicians, we claim that we are God in expression, individualizations of the one. And we claim that God knows everything, right? So shouldn't we? And if we do know, then why are we asking why? Okay, just for a minute, let's really get behind the idea that we are God in expression. The Almighty, the creative force of the universe, working in us, as us, through us, but barraged incessantly with the question, why? Our minds, which might be better using the time to be creative, seem to be all tied up in the why of something. And suddenly Charlie Brown's midnight reply begins to look downright brilliant. And the infinite within us begins to look just a little exasperated. Why? What? Good for you, God. Throw the question back to the one answering it. Very Socratic of you. Trouble is, too often the response to why, what is this happening, or more specifically, why is this happening or not happening to me? More often than not, the questioner is the central character involved in the question. It's all about me, isn't it? It seems to me that if we take a step back and look at the question from God's perspective, consider this. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. Why? Because that's the way life is. Life is stuff happening. Evolution, activity, creation. Stuff is happening all the time. The question then becomes, why is all of this life stuff, or maybe more specifically, why is my life stuff happening? And then we seem finally to get to the real question. Why am I here? Here in this mess, here in this world, here in my bed, here in my conundrum. Why am I here? And the answer, if we pay attention, seems, well, fairly self-evident. I am that I am in a place where stuff happens. And that's really it, I think. I am, you are, we are, specifically for the purpose of being us and figuring it out. I am, you are, that's the way it is. I am, you are. And at this point, all inquiries into any other self-revelation seem to be equally self-evident, don't they? A flower is. There's no why. A mountain is. No why. It just is. For the sake of expressing itself as a mountain, people are. And all of it for the purpose of our own existence, to express, to create, to be. You can spend a lifetime asking why, or you can get on with it. Nike, as it turns out, was right on. Stop asking why and just do it. Live your life. Be you. Express yourself at the highest level for the express purpose of expressing you. You are a one of a kind. Your job is to be you at the highest, greatest, most loving, most creative level. And not to sit around asking why stuff is happening. Stuff is happening because stuff happens. Look, your life is of God. We are told that we are created in the image and likeness of creation itself. In the beginning, God what? Created. Now, I'm not talking about the vengeful, jealous, zealous God that we pretty much grew up thinking was the actual creator of the heavens and the earth. I don't believe in him. I'm not sure you should either. I'm talking about the creative, motivating force of the universe, that which was in the beginning before we started trying to figure out what God was doing and why. I'm talking about the force that is not created in our image and likeness, but a power that seems to create for the simple joy of creating, and which seems of itself to be a power for good. Look around. Look around. Beauty, yes. For what purpose? To express itself. Air, yes. Lungs, yes. Great combination. Awesome, yes. This power comes, it seems, from a source that itself had no beginning. In the beginning, we are told God created. But where did God come from? The old guy on the cloud is easy to explain. He, and, oh, make no mistake, it is a he, came from our imagination, predicated upon what we knew about the highest level of existence, which seemed to be kings and gods and father figures. It came from our imagination and satisfied our need to understand the universe and where it and we came from. It put everything in a nice little box so that we could end that why and get on with things, except we didn't end that why because what we made up was silly. So if you really want to know the source of everything, if you really do want to know, we have to come to understand that our knowing is, for now, probably above our pay grade. So the ultimate question must go unanswered, for now. And we have to come to understand that you and I, like God, just are. And our job, like God's, is to create beautifully, wonderfully, lovingly, in an unlimited fashion. God is, and you are it, and that is that. Perhaps, to make life really more worthwhile, the question instead of why might better be what? If we are of God, the better question might be not what am I, but what is God? If I am that, maybe I need to understand it better. Now, of course, why ask what? Because it's important that if we are that, if we understand God better, we will understand ourselves better. Because until we do, we may just continue to believe what God is not, and what we are and what we are not, since we are created in the image and likeness of that. So the real questions become, what is it I believe about what God is? Okay, so probably not an old man or even a personification, since that is something we have clearly made up. In essence, creating God in the image likeness of not necessarily the best of us. And that God is, according to some old theories, jealous and vengeful and prone to changing his mind about the rules of the relationship between us. So, what do I believe about my relationship to and with creation? Relationship with my parents than it has to do with my relationship with the infinite. If my parents were loving and supportive and basically said yes, then that's probably my image of what God is or ought to be. And if they were jealous and zealous and not so loving, then that's probably the relationship I created with God. So all else aside, what else have we been taught about the Almighty? Well, it's omniscient, all-knowing, all-wise. There's nothing unknown to God. That's kind of cool. It's omnipotent, all-powerful, nothing greater. There is absolutely nothing more powerful than God. Omnipresent, everywhere present, all the time, omni, everywhere, always. In all, through all, it is all. There is no place where God is not. No person in whom God is not. Can I repeat that? No person, including you, in whom God is not. So, because it's everywhere and because it's all wise, then it's God's nature to know everything. Always. Even what's going on in you. Because it is in you. And it is always creatively expressing. Always. There seems to be an eternal desire for expression inherent in the universe. New stars keep popping up, or we keep seeing stars that have been there forever, but which we didn't know were there. Evolution happens. It's an amazing process. And there's a law which not only responds to the desire of the universe for expression, but makes adjustments as necessary. Wow. So the nature of God, spirit, creativity, creation, seems to be that there is this creative spirit, which is God, which involves, thinks, dreams, imagines, loves, and a law, a principle, which is also God, that responds and evolves and creates and, well, makes things happen. Love and law. Love. The idea, the way, the power. Law. The way love works. And there is in us the same creative, motivating force. We use the same process. Divinity is within each one of us since it is everywhere present. You don't get to opt out of this. Its wisdom is your wisdom since it is all-knowing and expressing through each one of us. Its power is our power because it is the most powerful thing anywhere, anytime, always, period. And it is within us because it is everywhere present. Are you paying attention? The Spirit of God, love, the incarnation of the original Creator, abides within each one of us. And it lawfully works in us, as us, through us, according to our belief. Still want to know why? Here's my answer. So that it can keep expressing at the highest level. Within each of us, it is always reaching for the highest level. And that's enough for us to know, if we believe. We ask through our dreams and prayers and desires, through our beliefs and our disbeliefs, and Spirit responds. It says yes in its one-word vocabulary to whatever it is we believe about ourselves, our lives, our world. it responds with yes. Which is a great idea if we're thinking positive things. It's a fabulous idea if we're thinking creatively and affirmatively. Maybe not such a hot idea if we're thinking negatively and expecting the worst to happen. This is not a new idea, folks. It's not. In the book of Matthew, it says, ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you shall find. John, with even more clarity, says, ask and you shall receive, that your joy may be full. So we ask, and we get. Why ask why? Why not just say yes? A more often asked question is how? And the answer is really kind of easy, isn't it? How? According to your belief. What you believe creates the what in your life. Seneca said, who believed in the process, reminds us, do not ask for that. Do not ask for that which you will wish you had not got. And others have paraphrased it or just watched their lives and figured it out. Watch what you ask for, because you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And you are going to get it. Well, maybe not so much what you ask for, but what you ask for with your belief. If I'm asking for more money, more abundance, more, if I'm asking for more dinero in my life, but what I believe is that I'm broke and that money doesn't come to me and that I'm always in debt, then where am I going to be? You're going to be in debt. If I ask for in my prayers and with my mouth more love, a loving relationship, more affection in my life, but what I believe is that I don't deserve it, then I'm going to not deserve it and it's not going to come to me. It's not what you say you want. It is not done unto you as you want. It's done unto you as you believe. Ernest Holmes said the answer to every question is within you, because you are within spirit. So the solution to every problem is within us. The healing of all disease is within us. The forgiveness of all transgressions is within us. The raising of the dead or the dormant is within us. The kingdom of heaven is within us. And it is a whole new world. To manifest that new world, where ask is to have and seek is to find, to live a better life, to live in a kindler, gentler state of mind, we need to reconsider our old beliefs about who and what God is and believe in a better God. To take that old guy down off the cloud and locate the spirit of love and creation within us. To believe in a better world, you have to believe in a better you, a more powerful you, a more God-like, spirit-like, creation-like you. George Bernard Shaw said, you see things and ask why. But I dream things that never were and ask why not. That's the way. Why not? Why ask why when the job is bad or gone? Why ask why? If you've been dreaming of a better job, this is the answer to your prayer. You may have to leave the old one before you go into the new one. Get up and get moving. When the relationship is grating on your heart, why ask why? Ask what you believe. Ask what you love. When the body is doing things it should not be doing or not doing what it should be doing, why ask why? Pay attention to what it is telling you and then just do it and let yourself be healed. When the money is low and the bills are high and mighty, why ask why? Knowing the why is not going to fix anything. Go to the source within you and claim your good. Believe in a new way, then do what you are guided to do. To live a better life. Dream a better dream. Dream of a life full and rich and loved and abundant and joyful and fulfilled and creative. And then ask, why not? Instead of why, ask, why not? And I know that the next voice you hear, the response to your question, will sound a bit like an echo in your mind and heart. As creation itself responds to your acclamation with, indeed, why not? Take that question with you. And don't necessarily look for answers to it. Just consider that a yes. And so it is. So, all right, hold on, I'm going to check and see what you've been chatting about while I was chatting. Good, Heidi, you got it. Why should you not be here? That is an answer. Great that you recognize it. It is simple. Ah, I love you guys. Oh, Tina, I'm sorry too. I didn't know you were going to be here. I didn't. Shoot. Did somebody call or email me? Sorry. Okay, prayer for that clinical trial. Good girl. You got it. Tina, I am so sorry. I never got. If she sent a text to my phone, I am horribly bad at checking phone texts because our reception up here, ever since the fire, has been gruesome. So I don't send texts, and I don't look for them because I assume nobody else is sending them to me either. Best way to get hold of me is email or a phone call. Yeah, for sure. Let me know more. I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry that you're sitting at the airport waiting for a delayed plane. That's just never fun. Never fun. So, my friends, Heidi, how about for you? What? Get thee out of the way? Do I want to pray for that? Get me out of my own way. Get thee behind me, Satan. I'm sure somebody's already written that song. Yeah, you know, ladies, you have work to do. You do. You have work to do in this universe. How do I know that? I know that because you're here. I figure when we're done, when we've done what we came to do, we leave. It's a neat process. And, you know, you have just to know that you still have work to do. You are creative individuals. You are wonderful expressions of creation. And you have work to do. God's not done with you yet. Okay, so anyone else with a question? Because I want to pray. And thank you for being here, incidentally. I know it's not our usual time, but I appreciate that. There's Dana. Hi, sweetie.
And Alicia Gallagher.
All right. Okay. Dana. Dana, you are one of the most patient people I know. It's a frustrating situation, and God bless you. And Chris. Ooh, we got our closing song, and it's Billy Joel. That makes me happy. It does take practice, Alicia. It really does. And hi, and thanks for being here. Green light tomorrow. Okay, Heidi. Why not? All right. So, how about we pray? What a concept. Mm-hmm. Okay, Heidi, it's time to turn yourself right side out. Let's pray and get this on the board. Let's get Tina up in the air. Okay. Let's just take a breath. Take a deep breath if that's what your lungs want and that's what your heart thinks it needs, or take just a gentle breath. if you need to calm down, sometimes a gentle breath is more powerful than a deep breath. Pay attention. What do you need? What does your body need? What does your heart want? Just take a breath. And breathe in peace. Just peace. Breathe out anything unlike that, any concern, any worry, any whys. Just be. You are a place where God is. You are a place where the creative, motivating, loving, energizing, all-knowing power of the universe is. Connect with that. Breathe into that. And know that you are one with that. That truly is who and what you are. The creative, peaceful, loving, responsive, joy-filled energy of the universe. And knowing that we are one with that, knowing that as an integral part of creation itself, that which we claim for ourselves is in fact what is true and what demonstrates in our lives. And so I believe in this minute that Dana finds patience. Patience finds Dana and brings its friend peace of mind and joyful heart and love and abides within her now and always. And that she can connect with it at any time simply by knowing that it is there and by repeating whatever words remind her of that peace, joy, presence, presence, presence. And I know that Alicia understands that it is not true that practice makes perfect, because perfect always exists. But practice reveals perfect. And it does in her, as her, and through her always. I know that Heidi is at peace, joyfully at peace, knowing that this project, or better, gets a green light and moves forward. And uses her amazing talents and gifts to produce something that has never quite been before, but which is astounding. I know for Tina that at the perfect time, her flight will take off with her in it. And I know that this clinical trial to which she has put in an application will serve her well. And I know that life is good. Up in the air, Tina. Up in the air. And knowing that Heidi is now right side out once again, having feng shuied herself into perfection. Knowing that Dana is at peace. Knowing that Alicia is perfect. Knowing, too, that all of those within the sound of my voice know that the universe is simply saying yes, and so may choose to rephrase their question and claim for themselves nothing but the highest good, knowing that because God is where they are, it must be so. I know a perfect afternoon for everyone. I know of a perfect life for everyone. May that life be in alignment with God's dream as you. All projects are on go. All are meeting with the perfect people. All are being supported by the universe. I know that that is so, and I am ever so grateful. And I allow it to be. And so it is. Well, Tina's boarding her plane. Heidi's right side out. And life is good. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we have prayed and that life is good. And that we too need to be on the road. I love you all. I thank you for being here. For those of you who come on board, check out the miracles. We got a plane in the air. Have the most wonderful week. Know that God is where you are in every single moment. And take joy in that. Take advantage of that. As you turn off your computers and go back into your life today, know that you go with God, because in fact you can go no other way. Find joy this week. Find joy. Don't forget our closing music. It's Billy Joel, after all. And I'll see you Wednesday. I'll be back here Wednesday at 7 and next Sunday at noon, and looking forward to seeing you again. All of you have a great week. Go out and create something wonderful. And so it is.